Good morning, family. Welcome to your Love and Liberation meditation. I am Aliciana Vela Santera. And let's begin. Sit comfortably. Either cross-legged or lay flat. Find your comfort, find your peace. Block out any sounds, any noise, any inner dialogue that's not serving you. Feel the vibration fill you. Let it rise. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Breathe. Inhale through your nose. Hold that breath. Keep breathing. How are you feeling today? What do you need today? With each breath, call in, bring into your body what it is that you need. And as you release the breath, release everything. Release what doesn't serve you. Release what's causing you pain. Release what's hurting you, right? I need love. I need strength. I need peace. I need abundance. I need security. I need to release fear and judgment and shame and blame and rage and hurt and betrayal. And inhale justice, liberation, calm, consistency, commitment. Exhale. Anything that is not that, right? Anything that threatens your peace, let's release that. And let's continue reading. All About Love by Bell Hooks. We are on chapter 3, Honesty. Be true to love. When we reveal ourselves to our partner and find that this brings healing rather than harm, we make an important discovery that intimate relationship can provide a sanctuary from the world of facades, a sacred space where we can be ourselves as we are. This kind of unmasking, speaking our truth, sharing our inner struggles, and revealing our raw edges is sacred activity, which allows two souls to meet and touch more deeply, by John Wellwood. It is no accident that when we first learn about justice and fair play as children, it is usually in a context where the issue is one of telling the truth. The heart of justice is truth-telling, seeing ourselves and the world the way it is rather than the way we want it to be. In recent years, sociologists and psychologists have documented the fact that we live in a nation where people are lying more and more each day. Philosopher Cicely Bach's book, Lying, Moral Choice. Philosopher Cicely Bach's book, Lying, Moral Choice in Public and Private Life, was among the first works to call attention to the grave extent to which lying has become accepted and commonplace in our daily interactions. M. Scott Peck's The Road Less Traveled includes an entire section on lying. In The Dance of Deception, Harriet Lerner, another widely read psychotherapist, calls attention to the way in which women are encouraged to be sexist socialization. In The Dance of Deception, Harriet Lerner, another widely read psychotherapist, calls attention to the way in which women are encouraged by sexist socialization to pretend and manipulate, to lie as a way to please. Lerner outlines the various ways in which constant pretense and lying alienate women from their true feelings, how it leads to depression and loss of self-awareness. Lies are told about the most insignificant aspects of daily life. When many of us are asked basic questions like, "How are you today?" a lie is substituted for the truth. Much of the lying people do in everyday life is done either to avoid conflict or to spare someone's feelings. Hence, if you are asked to come to dinner with someone whom you do not particularly like, you do not tell the truth or simply decline. You make up a story. You tell a lie. In such a situation, it should be appropriate to simply decline if stating one's reasons for declining might unnecessarily hurt someone. Lots of people learn how to lie in childhood. Usually they begin to lie to avoid punishment or to avoid disappointing or hurting an adult. How many of us can vividly recall childhood moments where we courageously practiced the honesty we had been taught to value by our parents, only to find that they did not really mean for us to tell the truth all the time? In far too many cases, children are punished in circumstances where they respond with honesty to a question posed by an adult authority figure. It is impressed on their consciousness early on, then, that telling the truth will cause pain. And so, they learn that lying is a way to avoid being hurt and hurting others. Lots of children are confused by the insistence that they simultaneously be honest and yet also learn how to practice convenient duplicity. As they mature, they begin to see how often grown-ups lie. They begin to see that few people around them tell the truth. I was raised in a world where children were taught to tell the truth, but it did not take long for us to figure out that adults did not practice what they preached. Among my siblings, those who learned how to tell polite lies or say what grown-ups wanted to hear were always more popular and more rewarded than those of us who told the truth. Among any group of kids, it is never clear why some quickly learn the fine art of dissimulation, that is, taking on whatever appearance is needed to manipulate a situation, while others find it hard to mask true feelings. Since pretense is such an expected aspect of childhood play, it is a perfect context for mastering the art of dissimulation. Concealing the truth is often a fan part of childhood play, yet when it becomes a common practice, it is a dangerous prelude to lying all the time. Sometimes children are fascinated by lying because they see the power it gives them over adults. Imagine, a little girl goes to school and tells her teacher she is adopted. Knowing all the while that this is not true, she reveals in the attention received. She revels in the attention received, both the sympathy and the understanding offered, as well as the frustration and anger of her parents when the teacher calls to talk about this newly discovered information. A friend of mine, who lies a lot, tells me she loves fooling people and making them act on knowledge that only she knows is untrue. She is 10 years old. When I was her age, I was frightened by lies. They confused me and they created confusion. Other kids poked fun at me because I was not good at lying. In the one truly violent episode between my mother and father, he accused her of lying to him. Then there was a night an older sister lied and said she was babysitting when she was actually out on a date. As he hit her, our father kept yelling, "Don't you lie to me," while the violence of his response created in us a terror of the consequences of lying. It did not alter the reality that we knew he did not always tell the truth. His favorite way of lying was withholding. His motto was, "Just remain silent when asked questions, then you will not get caught in a lie." The men I have loved have always lied to avoid confrontation or take responsibility for inappropriate behavior. In Dorothy Dernerstein's groundbreaking book, The Mermaid and the Minotaur, Sexual Arrangements in Human Malaise, she shares the insight that when a little boy learns that his powerful mother, who controls his life, really has no power within a patriarchy, it confuses him and causes rage. Lying becomes one of the strategic ways he can act out and render his mother powerless. Lying enables him to manipulate the mother even as he exposes her lack of power. Males learn to lie as a way of obtaining power, and females not only do the same, but they also lie to pretend powerlessness. In her work, Harriet Lerner talks about the ways in which patriarchy upholds deception, encouraging women to present a false self to men and vice versa. The false sense that we present. Encouraging women to present a false self to men and vice versa. In Dory Hollander's 101 Lies Men Tell Women, she confirms that while both women and men lie, her data and the findings of her researchers indicate that men tend to lie more and with more devastating consequences. For many young males, the earliest experience of power over others comes from the thrill of lying to more powerful adults and getting away with it. Lots of men shared with me that it was difficult for them to tell the truth if they saw that it would hurt a loved one. Significantly, the lying many boys learn to do to avoid hurting mom or whomever becomes so habitual that it becomes hard for them to distinguish a lie from the truth. This behavior carries over into adulthood. Often men who would never think of lying in the workplace lie constantly in intimate relationships. This seems to be especially the case for heterosexual men who see women as gullible. Many men confess that they lie because they can get away with it. Their lies are forgiven. To understand why male lying is more accepted in our lives, we have to understand the way in which power and privilege are accorded men simply because they are males within a patriarchal culture. The very concept of being a man and a real man has always implied that when necessary, men can take action that breaks the rules, that is above the law. We're going to stop there, family. I'm going to ring you out. Let's take a deep breath in. Let's inhale that, right?